This is Jack White with the Capital District Growth Team. Another Monday morning message, this one for August the 17th. This is our monthly conversation with Governor Tom Ganse. Are you there, Tom?
Yes, I am. Good morning, Jack.
Good morning to you. A little over 6 weeks left in your term. You've had some great accomplishments and maybe some more. Tell me where things stand.
Well, Jack, I'm pretty excited coming into the end game here, and not just because September 30th is coming, but I think we have a lot of successes here in the district that I want to make people aware of. A lot of folks out there have been doing some great work, and it's really starting to pay off. We are right now on track for our 7th month of positive growth, 7 out of 11 months positive growth here in the district. We've just organized our 5th new club in Farmville, Virginia. The growth team promises me we're going to get 3 more before the end of the year. They promised me 8 clubs by the end of the year. And even if we get just one of those 3 remaining clubs, we will have more new clubs built this year than the district has done in over a decade. These are all phenomenal accomplishments. There are a lot of folks out there working hard, and we've had 5 months of consecutive net growth now. We're really moving in the right direction. I'm pretty proud of the folks.
Should be. What I have not in the last months kept up with something, have we lost many clubs this year?
We have, right now, I believe we've lost 2 or 3, and we have 2 more that we know we're going to lose before the end of the year. And there may be a surprise pop up there, but right now I think we're looking at possibly 4 clubs total for the year.
So you will be plus for the year, the gains minus the losses. That's good because we've been losing. How many clubs does the district have now? Give or take 1 or 2.
178.
178, getting close to 180. So you may get close to 180 before the year's out. That's wonderful. Well, what can people do between now? You know, there's 6-7 weeks left. That's a lot of time. What should a club be doing now to beef itself up?
Well,
get ready for a new president, new leadership team coming in.
Yeah, there's a famous football coach that was once quoted as saying, "Don't spike the ball on the 5-yard line." In other words, get it across the goal line before you spike it. And that's really where we are. As much excitement and enthusiasm as I see in the district right now, and the results that we see throughout the district right now, it's not the time to start celebrating. In fact, what we're really talking about is not the culmination of a membership drive. It's the beginning of a cultural change that has to carry through into October and throughout Governor Don Duty's year. There are some things that we really need to focus on coming into the last 6 weeks of the year. We know that in September, many clubs are going to purge their rosters. They're going to get rid of the dead wood as their dues bill comes around. This is historic. Traditionally, we've lost anywhere from 120 to 150, a net loss of 120 to 150 in the month of September. This is not a surprise. So there are things that we can do right now, and I'm going to ask every club president and every lieutenant governor to really take a hard look at the rosters and look at those people who you think you might be losing and take the extra effort to see what we can do to keep them in our clubs. See what we can do to plug the hole in the bottom of the bucket, if you will. We can't let up on our recruiting. We need to continue to bring new people in. We've got probably close to 100 clubs in the district right now that are plus or minus single-digit numbers. So for those clubs who are in the plus, in the single-digit numbers, they've got to recognize that they could lose it right here in the end game if they aren't careful with their roster cuts and with not recruiting new members. For those clubs who are just under the wire in the single-digit negative numbers, just a little bit more effort, a little bit more emphasis can put them over into the plus for the column for the year. And I want to emphasize that I'm not asking anybody to play a numbers game. We want good Kiwanians in our organization. We want to keep good Kiwanians. We want to keep them motivated, And the new prospects that we're looking at, we want to make sure that they're coming in for the right reasons. We want to give them a good home, and we want to give them something to do. This is not a numbers game. Those are a couple of things that we need to look at. Obviously, there's still time to get a couple of new clubs built, but the time is running short when you consider the groundwork that needs to be put in place. Again, I'm not looking for paper clubs right here at the end of the year to play a numbers game. We want to build clubs and communities that are going to be an asset for decades and decades to come. These are just a couple of the things that we need to look at. Probably the most important thing is to just recognize we've got one more challenging month ahead of us. We know that traditionally there are going to be a lot of losses in September, and we need to do things right now to try to cover for that. I want to give you a couple more numbers, and then I'll wind up, Jack. Today, we are at about minus 90 for the year. Now, 6 months ago, we were almost minus 300. That is a phenomenal effort to get from minus 300 to minus 90. Clearly, we have the momentum going in the right direction. We can get above and into the black this year. 3 new clubs would give us 90 more members, and if we have some good retention and some good recruiting in the rest of the district, we can easily get into the plus column for the end of the year for the first time in almost 20 years.
That'd be exciting and well-deserved because you and others have been working very hard for a long time to try to cross that line. One last thing before the time is up. If you are not an outgoing president or officer, but ready to start anew this coming year, it's October 1, what advice would you have for the next 6 weeks for that group of people?
For the incoming presidents,
and officers and directors.
Well, particularly for the incoming presidents, and I'll get to the others, but for the incoming presidents, I would urge you to work very closely with the outgoing president to make sure that you can continue to build on any momentum that individual has started, and that person, the outgoing president, knows what you're going to try to accomplish in the coming year so that he can be your number one, he or she can be your number one supporter in helping you accomplish those goals. When you look at the other positions, the secretary, the president-elect, the treasurer, any directors that are turning over, it's really the same thing. As you're getting ready to step into a position that's about to be vacated, you want to be talking with that person so that you don't just show up on October 1st with no idea what you're supposed to be doing or what you want to do. The time for that pass down is now.
Well, this is a good place to wind up. We've got one more of these conversations before the end of the year, and I hope that we'll have some more very good news when we talk in September. Thank you, Tom Ganse, for the Capital District Growth Team. This has been another One Morning Message. This is Jack White. Thank you for listening.